Good afternoon, class. Welcome for this session. My name is Michael Maiywa, and I want us to look at this topic on suicide among the youth. I want to look at the causes and preventive measures. So, first, I will introduce some of the statistics, some of the figures which we have of the suicide or the causes of death among the youth in within the country and around the world. So, what are some of the causes of death among the youth? First, we have the homicide or the murder, which is a killing of one person by another person, which comes first at 24%. Then there is the traffic fatalities, that is the accidents at 20%. And then coming third is suicide, which I want us to look in details at 7%. It is noted also that young people aged 15 to 24 years die each year due to suicide. So that is roughly 12,000 in United States. And then 3 out of 4 are males, which says that men are at higher risk of committing suicide compared to their female counterparts. Another statistics also from the United States is that uh, the percentage distribution of the cause of death among the youth between 2014 and 2019 is that unintentional injury ranked first at 48%. Coming second is homicide, which we have said it's murder. And then coming third is suicide at 11%. Other causes are malignant neoplasm at 6%, heart disease at 3%, congenital anomalies at 2%, among other causes which ranked at 17%. If you further look at unintentional injury, the main cause of unintentional injury is the motor vehicle traffic accident at 73%. Coming second is unintentional poisoning, and then there is also unintentional drowning, other land transport accident coming fourth, and then unintentional discharge of firearm coming fifth, and there are other unintentional deaths which ranked up at 10%. So let us look in details into suicide, which is first the definition. It is the deliberate death in which one makes a conscious decision or personal intention to inflict death on themselves. What are some of the causes of suicide? One, we look at depression. This is one of the main factors that lead to suicide among youth. What is depression? It is a mood disorder that affects an individual's feeling and adjustment to how they feel. That is according to Stern and Loco 2014. Students' performance also contribute to suicide among the youth. Academic pressure to perform is one of the main stressors experienced by students. Also in 2017 found out that students tend to find different means to overcome academic pressure. Among the means through which students dealt with this pressure is to engage in suicidal tendencies. Then the third factor is alcoholism and substance abuse. Wanyoike in 2015 identified the hopelessness of affecting the students in college and universities at 30%. Alcohol and drug abuse greatly affected academic performance of university students as per his study. Wanyoike found out that alcohol and drug abuse contributed to poor academic grades as well as encouraging suicide among university students. Then we look at the fourth factor, which is financial hardships. resulting from financial obligations among the youth. Uh, the youths have been ordered to adapt to lifestyles beyond their financial capacity. They withdraw, go into depression, and resort to unconventional means to solve these problems. They sink deeper into debt, with the pressure becoming too much to handle. Some of them opt to commit suicide. The next cause is trauma. Among the youths, one of the multiple factors which causes them to commit suicide is trauma. Multiple of the risk factors associated with suicide rates among youths is trauma. Mocha at al. 2017 conducted a study on traumatic experiences associated with, with suicide. The study established five main categories of traumatic experiences that lead to suicidal tendencies. One of them is stabilization-based therapy or STB, and then the parental psychopathology, childhood, adolescent, traumatic experiences, mental disorders, and stressful experiences. Yes, in addition, dating violence prior to age of 17, physical abuse prior to age of 17, and then the 12-month betrayal by non-partners are also some of the traumas experienced by the youth. We look at the next factor, which is intimate relationships. A perception among the youth is that one does not have a life without a partner. They then beg their happiness and comfort in the relationship. And once there is a breakup, they sense hopelessness. They can't cope with uh, breakup. Some youth take their own lives because they give away so much love, leaving none for themselves. You'll find that the youths always give so much love. They love their partners too much compared to even themselves, which in the long run will cause them depression when they are left. They resort to take their own lives. Some commit so much time, money, and emotions, and after all these investments goes to waste after they are left, it feels like they have lost a bigger part of them and they resort to suicide. Another factor is loneliness. Loneliness, some of the youth find it hard to socialize with others, thus, they feel alone. According to it is a feeling that is even made worse when an individual is an introvert. What is an introvert? Who is an introvert? This is a person who is shy, who is not afraid to make friends or socialize with other people. Wanyoike in 2015 attests to the fact that loneliness was intensified as a cause of suicide by 10% of the respondents in a study. This is the leading cause of suicidal behavior by both students and mental health practitioners. Another factor of or one of the other factors of cause of death among youth through suicide is conflict. Conflict is identified as difference between individuals due to their opinion or beliefs. Conflict can result into arguments as well as physical fights among youth. Introverts are at risk of being affected by peer pressure. There are other forms of conflicts between siblings and those between children and their parents. Youth faced with conflicts can get into depression and can lead to suicidal thoughts and tendencies. Frequent harassment, physical abuse, emotional abuse between partners can lead to suicidal thoughts. Men who experience more physical and less emotional abuse were at risk of suicidal tendencies. Another and the last factor is illness. What is illness? It is an it's any health disorders that affect the youth, the physical or the mental status of an individual. Health ailments can affect the psychological status of an individual. Health ailments can result from infection or poor hygiene, or it can also be transmitted through hereditary factors. HIV and AIDS, cholera, TB are some of the health conditions. Some medical conditions like asthma, diabetes, sickle cell anemia are transferred from parents to children. All these diseases, if not handled well, lead to suicide among the youth. They are fatal. Some of the preventive measures include one follow-up and support among the youth who have attempted suicide before, raise awareness among youth, among parents, teachers, and health workers, identify and treat mental health conditions and substance abuse, provide suicide prevention training for health and education professionals, restrict access to the most common means of suicide. If it is through accidents, you restrict access to motor vehicles. Target specific interventions for at-risk groups such as indigenous and LGBT groups. Promote responsible sharing of suicide information in media and social networks. Improve on registration and analysis so that you have the correct picture of the true picture of where suicide or uh, death among the youth is. So that brings us to the end of this presentation. Thank you very much, and may God bless you.